Surprisingly, this question is asked a lot by people that want to be engineers, and even current engineering students ask this question. You see someone in his third or fourth year asking, is it really going to be worth it if I become an engineer? And this is very interesting to me because this particular question can be asked based on or regarding to almost anything in life. You can ask, is it worth it to study law? Is it worth it to become a medical doctor? Is it worth it to go down the humanities path? Should I study economics? And so on. Because in whatever we do, there's this level of uncertainty. There are some people that study economics and it turned out really well for them, while some did the same thing, they went to the same universities, but it didn't turn out the same for them. So we are going to tackle this question to see how to go about it, how to think about it, but as regards to engineering. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the salary. I'd like to say that engineering is largely rewarding, but that is largely based on your location. Like the salary that engineers are paid over here compared to what they are being paid in like US and UK is so vast. Like to the extent that we don't get even 10% of what they are paid per year. For example, over here, for starting engineers, you can be paid around 150 to like 200,000 naira. That is if you get a good company. And that money is like around 200 or something to like $300, you can imagine, monthly. So that means in a year, you're getting roughly $3,000 as a starting engineer. You get the point. But this is just in Nigeria. Of course, the standard of living is different. Over here, with that money, as a young person just finishing university, I bet you can live your life like that. Unless you're very lucky, you get a bigger company like these oil companies that we have around here. They pay slightly higher. Instead of paying 150 to 200,000 naira, they pay like up to 400 to close to a million, like 800,000 naira, which is around 600 or something dollars to like over $1,000. The next is the prestige of engineering. There's this feeling around engineering, just like in law and medicine, unlike courses like marketing. Not that marketing is not important, not that it is not valuable, but courses like engineering, law, and medicine, especially over here in Africa or even Asian countries, you see a lot of them like they tell their children it's either you become a lawyer or a doctor or nothing, something like that. Being part of engineering, you get to be proud that you're part of engineering. As a student or even a graduate of engineering, you take pride in the positive things you're bringing forth to society. Although a lot of the problems that we're facing now are as a result of engineering, like for example, our use of fossil fuels is damaging the earth. Now we have to bring on engineering solutions to counter that problem. But you agree with me, the positive impact of engineering outweigh the negative. Also, when you study engineering, you get to have a lot of options after you graduate. Apart from following your own engineering route, you can go into management, economics, and so on. Whereas if someone studied management, he can't all of a sudden go into engineering. You get the advantage that I'm talking about over here. Like a lot of the top CEOs of the top brands in the world are actually engineers. Before, it used to be individuals with MBAs that head all these top brands, like for example, Amazon, Google, even NYSE. The CEO, the chairman of NYSE, that is New York Stock Exchange, is actually a chemical engineer. His bachelor's was in chemical engineering, but now he's somewhere doing something entirely different that has nothing to do with chemical engineering. You get the idea. Now, considering that chemical engineers are needed everywhere you go, you won't really go wrong if you study engineering, especially if you study engineering like civil engineering. Over here where I'm from, a lot of civil engineers get to employ themselves. They carry on contracts on their own. They end up building their own consulting firm, construction firms, and so on. So if you have an engineering degree, there are a lot of things you can do with it. There are a lot of jobs actually available for engineers. But with all that I've said, is engineering perfect? Of course, no. Just like every other job sucks in its own way, that's how engineering is. Like if you go to forums like Reddit or Quora, you see a lot of people complaining that there's no work work life balance, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of workload, and so on. But that is not always the case. That is always dependent on the company that you're working in. But largely, based on the points that I give, there are a lot of other points out there. I feel like engineering is really worth it. You can check out this video next, where I talked about different types of engineering, and you get to have a feel of which one you're interested in, which one you're not interested in. Thank you for watching.